So we are starting with our today's topic, that is wound healing. Now, what is wound healing? Wound healing is nothing but it is repair of tissue. Whenever there is any injury to the tissue, that is followed by repair of tissue. So healing is nothing but repair of tissue, or you can also say that it is replacement of the destroyed tissue by the living tissue. Then types of wound healing. In types of wound healing, there is primary healing or healing by primary intention, and second is secondary healing or healing by second intention. So there are two types of wound healing. First is primary intention and second is secondary intention. Now what is this primary healing or healing by primary intention? So this primary healing or healing by primary intention, it occurs in clean cut incised wounds or surgical wounds. The wounds which are clean cut without any infection, or the surgical wounds, because whenever surgery is planned or surgery is going on, whenever they are giving an incision, it is always a clean cut incision which is done under all aseptic precautions. So healing in these wounds occurs by primary intention. Whereas in case of secondary healing, wounds which are with excessive tissue loss, like burns where there is lot of tissue loss, or when the wounds are infection, बहुत सारा wound में infection हुआ है, तो वहां पे at that time also healing will take time, and that is done by primary intention. Then second point is when the wound edges are approximated. See, in case of primary healing, you can bring the two cut ends of the wound close to each other. So that is called as approximated. So when you can bring the wounds together, edges of the wounds together, that is called as wound edges are approximated. So in case of healing by primary intention, you can bring the cut ends of the wound together. Whereas in case of secondary intention, what happened? There is a lot of tissue loss, और tissue loss होने के वजह से you are not able to bring the wounds and close to each other, so you are not able to approximate the wound ends. So that is the difference between primary and secondary healing. In case of primary healing, there is no tissue loss because the wound is a clean cut wound, so there is no tissue loss. Whereas in case of healing by secondary intention, there is a lot of or a irreparable tissue loss. For example, like burns, what happened in burns? In burns, a lot of tissue has been burnt away, so there is irreparable tissue loss. Then wound healing occurs rapidly by epithelialization. In case of healing by primary intention, what happens? The tissue heals by epithelialization. The epithelial tissue grows within 7 to 10 days and the wound heals. You can assist this procedure by sutures. आप उसको सूचर्स देके इसको और हेल्प कर सकते हैं कि जल्दी यहाँ पे हीलिंग हो जाए. इन केस ऑफ healing by secondary intention, it takes a lot of time to heal. यहाँ पे टाइम ज्यादा लगता है because their healing occurs by fibrosis. यहाँ पे healing slowly होगा and it occurs by fibrosis. Whereas in case of primary healing, scar tissue is linear, soft and supple. It is a very nice scar. Whereas in case of healing by secondary intention, the scar tissue is often either hypertrophied or it can get it converted into a keloid and it is always contracted. In case of healing by primary intention, there is no contracture. No contracture means यहाँ पे क्या होगा? कि जो हीलिंग हो रही है ये एकदम अच्छी होगी और यहाँ पे कोई भी कॉन्ट्रैक्चर डेवलप नहीं होगा. Whereas in case of healing by secondary intention, a contracture develops and that leads to a disability. So these are two types of wound healing: healing by primary intention and healing by secondary intention. Then coming on to phases of wound healing. There are three phases of wound healing: inflammatory phase, proliferative phase, and maturation or remolding phase. In case of inflammatory phase, it begins immediately. जैसे ही wound होगा या injury होगी, the inflammatory phase starts. It begins immediately and it lasts for 4 to 6 days. The features of inflammation are rubor, that means redness; calor means heat; tumor means a swelling; dolor means pain; and loss of function. So these are the features of inflammation, which you can see in the first phase, that is phase of inflammatory phase or phase of inflammation. Chemical factors which are involved in wound healing are platelet derived growth factors, interleukin, collagenase, elastase, and prostaglandins. So these are the chemical factors which are involved in wound healing. Then the second phase is the proliferative phase. It begins in 7 days and lasts for 6 weeks. Fibroblasts produce collagen and glycosamines. Hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine are synthesized. Protocollagen is produced, which aggregates to form collagen fibrils. So this is the proliferative phase. The third is the maturation phase. This maturation phase begins at 6 weeks and lasts for 2 years. There is maturation of collagen, which is responsible for the tensile strength of the scar. Collagen contained in the wound reaches maximum in 80 days. So these are the three phases of wound healing. Then there are various factors which are affecting healing of wound, and these factors can be divided into general factors and local factors. As you all know, general factors are the factors which are related to the whole body, whereas local factors are the factors which are affecting the locally affected part. So coming on to general factor, the first general factor is vascularity. Greater the vascularity, quicker is the wound healing, and the wounds of face, hand, tongues heal quickly because they are having a relatively good deal of blood supply, whereas the wounds below the knee and over the shin and calf, they heal badly because of relatively poor vascularity. ठीक है, तो जहां पे भी वैस्कुलरिटी ज्यादा होगी वहां पे हीलिंग जल्दी होगी, जहां पे वैस्कुलरिटी कम है वहां पे हीलिंग स्लो होगी. The second factor is age. Healing is always related to the age of the patient. Wound in younger people heal quickly than those of elderly. The reason behind this is, in case of elderly people, the blood supply is decreased because of atherosclerosis. As everybody knows that atherosclerosis occurs in elderly. So because of atherosclerosis, vascularity decreases. Then protein turnover decreases with the age. Protein is also required for wound healing. And third is physiological tone of the muscles is reduced in old people. So these are the factors which delay wound healing in old people. Then second is age, that we have discussed. Now coming on to malnutrition. Malnutrition has been associated with defective synthesis of both collagen and ground substance. These are very important for wound healing. So when malnutrition is there, there is defective synthesis of these two substances, and because of this defective synthesis, the wound healing is delayed. Then next is vitamin deficiency. Vitamin C is necessary for synthesis of ground substance and maturation of collagen. So if there is deficiency of vitamin C, wound healing will be decreased. Second is vitamin A. Everybody knows that vitamin A is very important for the eyes, but vitamin A is also important for skin. It is a necessary for epithelialization. So whenever there is deficiency of vitamin A, that leads to defective wound healing. Then vitamin D is necessary for newborn formation. Everybody knows that body requires vitamin D for strong bones. And zinc is also a cofactor which is involved in protein synthesis. So whenever there is deficiency of any of these vitamins and minerals, that leads to delayed wound healing. Now after that, next is malignant diseases. Whenever a person is suffering from any malignant disease, we know that the malignant cells, they require a lot of nutrition. So what they do is they take the nutrition of the healthy cells. They take away all the nutrition of the healthy cells from the body, and because of that, healthy cells, they will not get nutrition, and that will delay wound healing. Then next is anemia. Everybody knows that when a person is suffering from anemia, so what happens is that the hemoglobin has decreased, oxygen carrying capacity decreases, and because of that, wound healing will be delayed. When the person is suffering from anemia, wound healing is delayed. Then next is uremia. In uremia, there is decreased protein and increased in urea. There is decrease in protein and increase in urea, which inhibits growth of fibroblast, and thus wound healing is delayed. Next is jaundice. In case of jaundice or the patients who are suffering with jaundice, the appearance of fibroblast and the formation of new blood vessels are delayed, and thus there is delay in wound healing. Also, there is significant delay in accumulation of collagen. We have seen that collagen is very important for healing, and in this case, there is delay in accumulation of collagen. So when a person is suffering from jaundice, wound healing is delayed. Next is diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is very important in wound healing. When the patient is suffering from diabetes mellitus, wound healing is delayed. In case of diabetes, there is atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is a disease in which atheroma containing cholesterol, lipoid material are found in the intima of the large and medium size arteries, and so arterial lumen is narrowed. And whenever arterial lumen is narrowed, there is less blood supply, and so delay in wound healing. Next important factor in case of diabetes mellitus is endarteritis, that is inflammation of the innermost coat of an artery. So there is endarteritis. Then tissue collagen or tissue contains increased glucose. As you all know, in case of diabetes, there is increased blood sugar level, and this sugar is very important or a good medium for the bacteria to grow. And so in these patients, infection occurs, and because of infection, wound healing is delayed. Again in diabetes, WBC count is decreased, immunity of the person is decreased, and also there is neuropathy. Neuropathy means there is loss of sensation. So whenever there is injury to these patients, they will not come to know, and because of that the wound gets infected, and also for healing and nutrition nerves are required. In these patients the nerves are damaged. So in case of diabetes, we have seen that atherosclerosis and arthritis, tissue contains increased glucose, WBC count is decreased, immunity is decreased, and neuropathy. So these are the important factors in diabetes mellitus which delay wound healing. The next general factor is generalized infections like septicemia. Whenever there is generalized infection, toxins are circulating in the body, and because of this circulating toxin, the wound healing is delayed. Then next is cytotoxic drugs and steroids used in the treatment of carcinoma. These are toxic to the cells and damage malignant as well as normal healthy cells. So whenever a person is taking steroids or cytotoxic drugs, they will damage the normal healthy cells. The steroids, they usually depresses wound healing by their anti-inflammatory action. So whenever a person is taking cytotoxic drugs and steroids, wound healing is delayed. Then blood dyscrasias. If a person is suffering from various diseases of blood, then that can also lead to delayed wound healing. So these are the general factors which are affecting wound healing. Now coming on to local factors. Local factors means the factors which are related to the area which is affected by injury. So in local factors, number one is tissue tension. Tension of the tissue inhibits local blood supply and leads to wound failure. Whenever there is any tension in the tissue, like if there is a hematoma, when a lot of blood gets collected below the wound, or there is infection, so all these factors will increase the tissue tension and will delay wound healing. Second local factor is disposition. Skin wounds made in direction parallel to the lines of Langer heal faster than those at right angles to the lines. So in this case, what happens if the incision which you are giving, or if the injury which has occurred, if it is parallel to the lines of Langer's, then healing will be faster. But if it is perpendicular to the lines of Langer's, healing will be delayed. Then next is rest. Granulation tissue has a delicate blood supply that is easily damaged by movements. So failure to provide rest to the wound results in delayed wound healing. So you have to give proper rest to the wound. If the person is continuously moving his parts and not giving rest, if the wound is on the joint, then that will delay wound healing. Then infection. Once infection is established, the fibroblasts have to compete with the bacteria and inflammatory cells for oxygen and nutrition, and because of this, overall collagen synthesis is reduced. And if collagen synthesis is reduced, then there will be delayed wound healing. Then lymphatic drainage. Impairment of lymphatic drainage hampers the process of healing, because if lymphatic drainage is not proper, there will be edema, and because of this edema, there will be delayed wound healing. Then next is necrosis. Necrosis means death of the cells. So whenever there is necrosis at the wound margin, that will delay wound healing. Then foreign bodies. Whenever there is presence of any foreign body in the wound, this foreign body will induce tissue reaction. Body reacts with this foreign body, and because of this, healing will be delayed. Then next is faulty technique of wound closure. Faulty technique of wound closure. If you are not closing the wound properly, either the margins are overlapping, they are coming over one another, or the suturing is done very tightly, that will lead to necrosis. Or if there is gapping of the wound, if you are giving sutures at a lot of distance, so because of that also healing will be delayed. So faulty technique of wound closure. Then recurrent trauma. If there is recurrent trauma to the wound, but natural healing will be delayed. Then local irradiation. If the patient is receiving any radiation, so because of that, what happens is there is cell death, and this is because of damage of DNA and disruption of intracellular metabolism. So that will delay wound healing. Then site of wound, where the wound is located. For example, we have seen that wounds of face or wounds of tongue, they heal faster as compared to the wounds of calf or over the shin of tibia. So it depends on the type of wound also, what is the site of wound, and because of that whether it will heal faster or quickly. And whenever there is underlying diseases, for example, if the patient is having injury on the uh, lower limb and person is suffering from osteomyelitis, because of this underlying disease also wound healing will be delayed. So these are the various local and general factors which are affecting wound healing. Now coming on to management of wound. Now how will you manage this wound? So this wound management depends on the type of wound. Which is the type of wound? So it will depend on the type of wound. First thing is wound toilet. Wound toilet means you have to wash the wound thoroughly using normal saline. You will clean the wound using normal saline. Now, in case of incised wounds, primary suturing after thorough cleaning is done, and that will help in healing of the wound. Whereas in case of lacerated wounds, you have to excise the wound. Means you have to remove all the devitalized tissue, and after removing of the devitalized tissue, if the wound is free from infection, you can go for primary suturing. Then crushed wounds. In case of crushed wounds, again wound debridement is to be done. Then edema is allowed to subside for 2 to 3 days, and then primary suturing is to be done. So in case of crushed wounds, you have to first do debridement, then edema is to be treated, and when all these things are under control, then you go for primary suturing. You have to look for fracture, and if there is fracture, then you have to deal it first along with the management of wound. That is, after this you go for antibiotics. Fluid and electrolyte balance is to be maintained. If the person requires blood transfusion, you have to go for blood transfusion, and tetanus toxoid injection of course is very important. So this is management of wound. So we have completed with wound healing.